right? Cheeseburger. This in itself is a statistics problem. 3. Cheese pizza. How many for cheese pizza? Ooh. Yeah, like what's the probability that somebody picked whatever? Well, for cheese pizza, it's 0. Pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni pizza. 2.
Raise your hand like hi.
Antonella. If you want food there for you. Sun butter and jelly sandwich. Alright. And then I'm guessing a couple of you packed, because otherwise my math doesn't quite make sense. Alright, we got math to do. So, Yoda, again, hopefully you did some work over the weekend. There is no saying, oh, I tried. You either did it or you didn't. So today, we're going to check homework, but then we're going to work in groups. And if it seems like we can handle it, we could go do this group work out in the family room. You will need highlighters and stuff like that. At least if you're me, you're going to want highlighters. But real quick, 624 answers, questions, daily doubles. What issues did we have from 624? I just need to find my homework binder. You guys, again, this should be like, I tried it, I used homework help, I did other stuff than just stare at it, and I got the wrong answer. Please explain it to me. I'll zoom in a tad bit more for our visually impaired friends. On a lot of these, my paper would have some highlighting. I'd probably be using multiple colors on some of these, like solve the equation problems. On the back, with area and perimeter, guys, if you got it wrong, you're probably using the wrong area formula. So one of the great things with homework help is it has the area formulas there. But it's also on a couple different of our homeworks, and it's on page 10 of our textbook, and it's on Schoology. I have that cheat sheet thing, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and print you another cheat sheet that just has all the area formulas we've been using. I'm trying not to give you too many crutches of then you'll just rely on them, but on the state test that's coming up, you get the area formulas, so I might actually just print that reference page so you start to get used to that. Lucas?
Can we go over
100C, I'm guessing area.
Yeah. I think that area answers.
So you probably used the wrong numbers then. That or you just had some issues adding the fractions. So in 100C, what kind of shape is this? Should be our first question. It's a parallelogram, right? These arrows indicate parallel lines. So for perimeter, I've got the bottom will be the same as the top of 4 2/3. So I've got 4 2/3 twice. What? Oh, of what the perimeter should be. So then the left and right sides will be the same, 3 5/6 twice. We do not use the 3 3/8 for perimeter. We do not use that for perimeter. However, I want to be able to write up here. However, how many times can he say it to vamp for time? Area, and this gets tricky with triangles, which I think actually the problem I just covered up does the same sort of thing, so we might uncover it and come back to it. Area for a parallelogram is easier than some of our other formulas. It's base times height. But the base and the height have to be perpendicular with each other. So I use 4 2/3, and 3 3/8. And then if you were off by just a tiny bit, you probably rounded your 4 2/3 instead of using it like an improper or something like that. So we can go back to the answer key if we want to double check that. But does that help clarify, Lucas? And anybody, guys, if you struggled on 100, you should be watching right now. Parallelograms solve like rectangles. On the flip side, the triangle here, so still on 100. If you had any struggles, you should be watching right now. Area formula for a triangle is base times height, then divide by 2. Or you can say 1/2 base times height. Both of those are the same. Except here, I didn't move my box far enough. The height is actually outside of the triangle. That's the height of your triangle. And guys, homework help kind of walks you through this. So the base is 67. The height is the 79.2. Perimeter, I just use the edges, right? But the height, we have to see this perpendicular symbol. So you might want to make a note to yourself if you're struggling on that stuff. Base has to be perpendicular to height. Base has to be perpendicular to height. I'll go back to the key. So for C was 15.75. For D, for that triangle, 2,653.2. We got bigger numbers there, I believe. Yeah, 67 times 79. That's really big. Even when we do half of that, it's still real big. And then scooching over so you can see the rest of the perimeters. And then scrolling down so you can see up through 102. Other questions? Guys, somebody texted me over the weekend and like, Mr. Hudson, I had a question, then I used homework help, and now I'm good. And I was confused, and I was like, so wait, do you need anything? And they're like, no, I'm just saying hi. I was like, sweet, hi. I was changing a sink faucet for my Discovery Day. One of my friends got rid of their sink faucet thing that has like the spring on it and everything, and my wife wanted it, so I swapped out our sink faucet for my Discovery Day. Aiden? 97. It's a tough one, so I wouldn't be surprised if we mess something up because it's a difficult one. 97 says, for the end of the year party, Mount Rose Middle School order 112 pizzas. That's even more pizzas than I've ever ordered. That's our total, right? So there were 8 fewer veggies than there were pepperonis. So this, just to start, is a weird sentence. It's telling us the number of veggies is pepperoni minus 8. And guys, this is exactly what we're practicing more of today. Making sure that when we read these sort of statements, we can make sense of it, write it down, solve it. Then there were 3 times as many combo as pepperoni. Guys, the thing to be careful of here is what are we comparing to? Here, fewer than pepperoni, right? 3 times as many as pepperoni. So, combo is 3 times P. And then the other thing we want to make sure we write down, P is P. Not PSP, although I don't even know if that's a game system people use anymore. Pepperoni equals pepperoni. Uh-oh. Gravity works.
That's gonna come right in front of the face line.
Well, the chunk between the 1930s and the 1970s just decided to fall down, so there were some good inventions that we might need there. Farah, what's one of the important inventions that just fell down? Oh, the microwave! Guys, if we didn't have the microwave, how would you heat up your lunch?
Light a fire.
I mean, now you're talking my language. Let's just light a fire. All right, so does that help? I don't really want to solve the whole thing, Aiden, because we're going to go over a lot of these together. But then we put them all together. right, and do the algebra to solve. We're going to do more of these problems today, but if you need more help than that, come work with me. Or use homework help. Other questions that we got wrong and we're like mad about. Like, wait a minute, I thought that was right.
Wait, can I see? Oh, wait, hold on.
In 98, I think it was one of those, like, what's the best solution?
I know which one was the best.
All right, well, that's long enough wait. Ooh, Vara?
For 101B, could it also be 3 parentheses 10 minus 6?
Yeah. Did you take the D with the 3? So, in 101, guys, Farah, thank you for asking because we're still getting better at factoring. We're still getting better. When we factor, like in 101, since there's a D in both of them, we can take a D with it. You don't have to, but we can. So remember, what you're asking is what can I divide both sides by? So the answer key had 6D times 5D minus 3. And Farah just asked, could it also be, I'm going to write in a different color, 3 times 10D squared minus 6D. This could also work. Or if I take the D with the 3, which is nicer, then I would just have 10D minus 6, because the D is no longer here. Especially on the problems that ask us to factor. If you're still struggling, go look at homework help and read what it says. It does a really good job of saying what can we divide both things by. First, look at the numbers. Then look at the letters. Like, it breaks it down really well. All of those are correct answers, and there's more. We could make even more correct answers. They just give us the best is if I take 6D, not 60. If I take 6D out, that's the biggest common factor. All right, so we can potentially turn that in if it's done. So let's do that real quick, then we'll switch gears. If it's done, turn it in. All right, the family room is nice, and yeah, Ben's over here now, so it's not in the way of the board. So I realized it was kind of getting, like people are still trying to write stuff down or whatever, and the bin was in the way of the board. Also, because I snagged this from the office, I don't even know if this was last week while you guys were still here, Discovery Day. Math 7, I'm going to put Post-its here, or I might make some little signs. I may hire Anna to make some signs. Math 7 stuff is all right here. Okay, like these two sides, because here's resource pages, old tests. This is always going to be Math 8. Okay, just to be like numerical order. So you guys don't need to worry about this, except like I got a spare plan book here, so if anyone loses their plan book. But yeah, so turn-in bin is here. I thought about putting it up here, but then I felt like it was a little high. I don't know. You guys think this is too high
I
up?
like it better at the top. Well, there are some people that are even in this
Yeah, the question is, can we all reach up here? Which I don't know. But probably in the middle would be better. Because then Math 7, Math 8. Alright. Let's get everything you need. Highlighters, calculators, graph paper, pencils. And let's shift to the family room and sit at those tables out there. It's just nicer out there. Is that for Jim?
No, it's just Layla. She wore my clothing home and it took her.
I mean, at least you brought it back.
Yeah, it took her like 3 weeks.
Let's get what we need and head out there. What's up?
So, you know how last week we were going to figure out thing for both sides and this?
Yeah, on both sides or to both sides or whatever we were saying.
Sides.
TA and ooh. But sometimes there are more than 2 sides. Sometimes we have like 3, quote unquote. Ooh, to all sides. I kind of like it. Well, the recording's not going to pick up anything else we do, but hey, I don't know. I don't think we had very many kids absent today. Seems like most of us are here. What's up?
Okay. Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah. And then I have like a whole cardboard box full of them too.
You mind if I just take the drawer?
Fine by me, man.
You use them today or anything?
Nope. I have used them for probability type things, but now the simulators are so good and faster, I should stop my recording. This is funny. I decided to let my group go